on her show knocked her up. So now she a single mom. Like,
All right, all right. We got light. We got light. That's what's up. Well, that was crazy ass Corey Holcomb. He talking about Cynthia G and the dude that was interviewing Dr. Umar, who was a man. And yeah, that junk crazy. What's up, man? What's up? Saturday night, 12:30. We're gonna get into the throwback. You know what I'm saying? All right, as y'all know, Coolio died, man, and just crazy. And you know, wanna show him love for this throwback, the part 30th. You know, we're gonna get into some commentation first, you know. Uh Shit, it been a long day. I had to go to sleep, man, because I hurt myself eating some seafood earlier, and I had to go to sleep. But mind you, I've been up since 8:30. Your boy off today, but even when you off, you got work to do, and that's like stuff you just got to do on a personal tip. Like you know, got my Townsend hat on, my shirt. I went to see my son today. Had to take him grocery shopping. Every end of the month, the first, I had to load him up on some food. Because I don't want him to work. I want him to keep his mind on his studies. And he's studying at Townsend. So like, back in the day, we had to work and go to school, and I just feel like it takes from the kids, you know, that they gotta worry about, that they gotta earn a living and go to school. It's like I just want all of you kids to appreciate when your family is resourceful and they get their grind on for you guys to be out here and live your dreams. We may make it look easy, but it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody want to contribute to help your journey. And the grandparents and aunties, the cousins sending money. And but I appreciate that because when all my nephews and nieces was going through school, high school, college, I was there for them. So they there for me to help me with my son. Even if I don't ask them, they step up, and that's what family's supposed to do. And you look out for the kids and the babies. Now when you becoming an adult, you on your own. But still, if I see you helping yourself, I'm gonna be there to rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Because just for the simple fact, I don't know what that looked like. You know, when I turned 19, 18 years old, I had a job because I was in the work study program. So in the 12th grade, I had a half a day schedule. I was doing brick masonry. I had a job making 18 an hour. You know, shoot, I was bringing home 1,800 after tax, and my mother got a letter like, "Hey, y'all rent going up because you got money coming in the household." My mother showed me the letter and said, "You gotta move because I was like, it's cool. I'll pay the." I said, "No, you ain't. Not for living here. You're gonna go and whatever that. money that you can pay for an apartment is gonna be nice and worth that money. So go get your own place. So I say all that to say I was literally pushed out the house at 18, 19 years old, and I was trying to go to school. It was just a lot going on. I was working, and then God called my grandma home. You know, my grandmother, Grandma Roxy, and man, it's just I had a lot going on. But when you young, your head on the swivel and you moving, 100 miles per hour. You just keep it moving. But as I reflect now, I was probably a functional alcoholic because when my grandmother died, I mean, I was partying, but I think I turned it up a level when she died because that was my rock. You know what I'm saying? When my mother worked, I was with my grandmother. I never had a babysitter like that. As far as I know, far as family, it was only family. Like my son. My son only had, my mother babysitting him or family members. Never had like an outside babysitter. So I'm proud of that. So he's close with his grandmother like I was with mine. But I was so close to my grandmother, I called her mom. I called my mother by her nickname. And she never for real corrected me. So therefore, to this day, I call her by her nickname. So that's our relationship. And I just get mad when somebody else call her that. As far as kids, and I correct them. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm the only one called grandma that. I call her by her nickname because that's our relationship. That's not your relationship. To you, she grandma or she mom. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. You feel me? All right, man. Let's see if Fred gonna answer the phone. But hold on. Let me see if Fred gonna answer the phone because it's getting late. I don't try to call after 1 o'clock. So let me call my brother, see if he gonna pick up. You know. All right, y'all. He didn't pick up. So I knew after one I wasn't gonna call, but it's still 12 something. So it is Saturday night. So he might have been out on the town or whatever. You know. So all right, let's get into it, man. Uh let's crank it out, man. We know Coolio hit the scene with Fantastic Voyage, which was a song that he sampled from Lakeside. So let's get into that, man. Let's honor Coolio. Let's get some visuals and some backdrop on Coolio. You feel me? Let's see what's up. We got Gangsta's Paradise with LV. And then I saw something on the news. They were saying he had another joint from a current record called "Rolling with My Homies." I'm gonna play that because I never heard that. So this the Coolio throwback, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, who remember Coolio, man? You know, he's an artist from the LA area. You know, one of the homies. I don't know if he was affiliated, you know. All right, let's go.
Come on, y'all, let's take a ride. Don't you say a word, just get inside. It's time to take you on another kind of trip. Cause you can't have to hop if you don't have to hit. Grab your with the extra. Close your eyes and hit the switch. But over to a place where everybody
He ate good off of this record too over the
ain't
years.
no blood, ain't no tripping, ain't no fools in the party set tripping. Everybody got a stack and it ain't no crap. And it really don't matter if you're white or black. I wanna take you there like the Staples singers. What's up in the tank? And I know that I can bring it if you can't take the heat. Get your ass out the kitchen. We on a mission. Fantastic slide, slippity slide, switches on the block in a 65. Come along and ride on a fantastic slide, move by. Nobody going up a mountain high. I'm trying to find a place where I can live my life and maybe eat some steak with my beans and rice. A place where my kids can play outside without living in fear of a drive-by. And even if I get away from them drive-by suckers, I still gotta worry about them.
It's a visual.
I try to keep my faith in my people, but sometimes my people be acting like they evil. You don't understand about running with a gang, cause you don't gang bang, and you don't have to stand on the corner and slang, cause you got your own thing. You can't help me if you can't help yourself. You better make a layup. Fantastic slide, slippity slide. I do what I can just to survive. Come along and ride on a fantastic slide, move by. That's why I pack my life is a trip and then you die. Still trying to get a piece of that apple pie. Every game ain't the same, cause the game still remains on the scene. Kinda strange, ain't a damn thing changed. If you don't work, then you don't need. And only damn brothers can ride with me. High 5, 55, 50 down the block. Stay sucker free, shake the buses off the job. You gotta have heart, son, if you wanna go. Watch this sweet chariot swing low. Ain't nobody crying, ain't nobody dying, ain't nobody worried. Everybody's fine. Nothing from nothing, leave nothing. If you wanna have something, you better stop running. What you gonna do when the 5 roll by? You better be ready so you can ride. Come along and ride on a fantastic slide, slippity slide. When you're living in the city, it's do or die. Come along and ride on a fantastic slide, move by. You better be ready when the 5 roll by. That's what you do, just roll up. That's right, just roll up. That's what you do, just roll up. That's right. Slippity slide, when you're living in the city, it's do or die. Come along and ride on a fantastic slide, move by. You better be ready when the 5 roll by. Yo. Coolio, man, why you hang up on me? Wait, what's up?
All right, that's what's up. That's the song that catapulted him and got him like in the game of the rap game and noticed and yeah, he was popping from that song on. Then he followed up with Gangsta Paradise. Them two songs, well, Gangsta Paradise was part of a music soundtrack, Criminal Minds or something like that. And because that was attached to a movie, that song blew up, you know. So he, again, he ate off for that record real good, you know what I'm saying, over the years, you know. And the homie LV, he laced it with the vocals and yeah, the rest is history. All right, but let's bring us some visuals, man, and get some commentary on my man. You know what I'm saying. You know who was Coolio. You know his signature was the plaits, and they had Cormega on Hip Hop Uncensored, and Cormega was talking about how you know hip hop getting ready to be 50 years old, 2023. Hip hop would be in its 50th year, so a lot of the pioneers, the original guys from the 80s and 90s, we in our 50s, on our way to 60 years old, and Coolio was 59, and like, rest in heaven, Shock G, who was Humpty Hump, you know, uh, died from an overdose. And I don't have to say allegedly, that's in the autopsy. So apparently Coolio died at a friend's house in a bathroom. So I hope that wasn't no overdose or nothing like that. You know, you see, he still try to even down the line, he still kept the braids. He still kept the braids. You know what I'm saying? The spider braids. That's what I call it. You know. So yeah, let's get into some bio of my man. Let's see who Coolio really was. What was his name? You know, his government. You know, look at that. Sean Kingston hanging out with Mike Tyson. Yeah. Who is this Icy Spice? I ain't never heard of her. Oh wow. Quicksilver earns a spot on the Ben Chili Bowl Wall of Fame. That's a big thing here in DC. You know, Quicksilver is a radio personality here in DC and in Baltimore. And I heard he got a club up in Baltimore as well. All right, congratulations to you, brother. You know. All right, let's get some bio. Artists. Okay, so Coolio real name is his name is Artist Leon Ivy Jr., known professionally as Coolio, was an American rapper first rising to fame as a member of the gangster rap group WC and the Mad Circle. Coolio achieved mainstream success as a solo artist in the mid to late 1990s with the albums It Takes a Thief and Gangsta's Paradise and My Soul. So he had three albums that he put out. And so born August 1st, Monessen, hold on, August 1st, 1963, in Monessen, PA, so that's Pennsylvania, I'm assuming. He died September 28th, 2022 in Los Angeles, California, 5'8". Artist Leon Ivy Jr., full name, spouse Josefa Salinas, she sounds Spanish. Kids, he had a gang of kids, God bless him. Grittis Ivy, Brandy Ivy, Artisha Ivy, Shane Ivy, Million Ivy, Jackie Ivy, Darius Ivy, and I think he had about 11 kids. So that's like all that they named. I see more on here. Let me see. All right. Okay, so they didn't bring up nobody else name. But yeah. So this how he look now at 59. So that's how he look. God rest his soul. Yeah, you know, he hit big with them two joints, and really Gangsta's Paradise had a big run and went to number one, I think, because that song was attached to the movie. So the movie gave it life worldwide, it just started the States, and the dude LV laced the lyrics on that joint, singing the hook, and LV went on to do an album, and so yeah, you had your time, your moment, but then he morphed into a celebrity chef, and dude could throw down like Trick Daddy and Bobby Brown, the first guys that come to mind that that can throw down in the kitchen. Some wild boys. It seems like the wildest dudes can throw down in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Bob, Coolio, uh, uh, and Trick Daddy. I'm like, I know Trick Daddy and Bobby Brown was a wild boy, but Coolio looked wild, so he just looked like he was down for the shits, and especially back in the day. His whole look was like, yeah, you know. But then he with a rock group called Mad Circle. So yeah. So You know, God bless them again. So let's get into Gangsta's Paradise. And we get some visuals on that as well. All right, let's go. We're gonna give you the theatrics with the movie version.
You want to tell me what this is all about? As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of nigga little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
Got Michelle Pfeiffer in the video.
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the street, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and the gleam in my eye. I'm a low out gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live and see 24 the way things are going? I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Been spending most of my life living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of my life living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of my life living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of my life living in the gangster's paradise. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
That's LB right there, y'all. That's our folder right there. Tommy Boy Records. All right, that's what's up. So it's getting ready to be the 25th year of hip hop, the anniversary, and it's gonna be big. You know, in the beginning, there were a lot of independent labels, that put out big stars. People with money. Uh, gave people deals and whatnot. You know, if you follow Jay Z, Rockefeller was a round table of drug dealers that wanted to go straight and clean their money up, clean their act up, and you see where Jay Z at now, Dave and Dash and Biggs, and so this was actually the nature of the record business, and it still is. The streets are in the record business heavily. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's going on with these gangs with Young Thug and Gunna and the YSL, indictment, and how these kids getting killed and shot down on the street, because they really in the street, and the hustler profile was kind of glorified in the early days in the 80s and 90s because rappers emulated the guys on the street. So because of that, and then when people really start paying attention to rap, and when the streets saw that, hey, I could put my money into that. I can back this artist and rent out spots to have shows, and I can clean my money up, and then I can leave the streets. So a lot of successful people did that. And then millionaires were made from the artist, from the investor. And you had these big companies like Warner Brothers, Universal Atlantic. They start monopolizing the game, meaning they start buying up these little labels, and then say like if they were $1 million company, they gave them 5 and 10 million, and they acquired their roster, and basically, they monopolize these companies just to put them out of business, and then you know they got the best of the artists, and then they let whoever they thought that wasn't a moneymaker, they let them go, or kept them around for jerk off reasons, to take their music and whatever. So yeah, so you know smaller record companies, like Sleeping Bag, Tommy Boy, Reality Records, all these little companies. But the surge of the indies is coming back. You know what I'm saying? Def Jam. But these companies were revered as labels, big companies because they did it big. The budget was big. So um it seemed like they was independent to a Universal or Warner, Atlantic, you know. I mean, compared to them, they were like indie labels. But now you got the wave of the internet stream indie labels coming up, that will be revered as indies compared to the record labels that were bought out by Universal and Warner and Atlantic Records, and and some of the same people in Def Jam, and a lot of them executives is at the head of the forefront now. They said Leo Corn is on the board of YouTube and oversee the music department. So you know, then a lot of the um big boys from Def Jams, is at Atlantic Records, that runs Atlantic Records and Universal, so these are the big three companies, the big three. You know what I'm saying? And then they got Rock Nation management who buy up all the promotion venues and the venues where you do your shows and tours and whatnot. So, um, so you know, what is it? Rock Nation is which is Jay-Z company that's owned by Ticket Nation or something, and so Jay-Z has the rapping branch of Ticket Nation, which is called Rock Nation now. So Jay-Z is doing like a Rush management type of move, like Russell Simmons did. Rum was the artist, and then uh, Russell Simmons got to manage all the rappers, and then you got to hear him talk today, well, recently, about what academics said hip hop is dusty, the pioneers. And Russell was like, I managed these guys before they became famous and rich because the thing was throwing parties and house parties or cabarets and so man, we're so resourceful. We see money in everything. So just people coming rocking the mic at parties. Russell Simmons was smart enough to get these guys under his wing and let him manage them to get them at parties so they can rock the mic. And and they got paid and they got notoriety, they got fame. So when they upped the game to making records, they already had a following, an audience that bought the records and whatnot. So that's how Rush Management started. Russell Simmons was managing MCs and probably DJs and hired these guys to, rock the mic and DJ at private parties. You know what I'm saying? And you know, who knew to do that? You know what I'm saying? And I come from the party world and whatnot. So, and I got into the promotion business for like, a good year. And it was grueling, and you gotta be part of that world because to sell tickets, to sell out a venue so you can make your money back, which is your investment, and make a profit. It was grueling because, for one, I had two ladies as a partner, uh, Valerie and what's the girl name? Damn, I want to say Nicole Valencia. That was her name, Valencia. I don't know how I get Nicole out of Valencia, but Valencia, uh, they were my partners, and we all worked together at the same location, and Valencia had a business relationship, and maybe they hung out and had a personal relationship. Her and the dude Breeze that ran Breeze Metro Club. And, so when we got in the promotion business and started throwing cabaret parties at his club, you know, Breeze nightclub, they took his liquor license. And I didn't realize a liquor license is like $1 million. I didn't know that. So you gotta have money to get money. Having a liquor license and being able to open a store to sell liquor, or being able to have a club to sell liquor is a big deal. And they know you're going to instantly make money because everybody like to party and drink and feel good and have a good time. So with that being said, they tax you on that. Now, what they let you do, you don't have to have $1 million by yourself. You can have partners, and each one of your partners, that name is on that license to get that money together, and you can share that license. You can open up multiple stores under that license. I'm sure there's restrictions on how many stores you can open, but per person might can have 2 stores or maybe one. I don't know. But just think about it. $1 million. Say like if uh 4 people put up $250,000. So that license is split up in a 4 piece. So therefore, that's 4 liquor stores that can be put out there, and they all gonna make money. You feel me? And but anyway, they took my man liquor license, so he still kept his doors open because he started renting the spot out as a cabaret spot, which people came and paid them and had their private parties, and that's what we did. And it was BYOL. You bring your own liquor, your own beer, and but because him and Valencia had a relationship, a personal relationship, we got the family treatment. You feel me? Like he let us rent the club. Now, mind you, this the '90s now, y'all. Before, like, I want to say 95, 94, around that time. So, we rocked out about a whole year, and I remember it vividly. He would charge us like, a little under 1,000, and what came with that $1,000 of renting his spot came a DJ Dave. He had a on duty police officer who was in uniform. Then he had like his guys there that was security, plain clothes, his crew. And but you had somebody there, and he had a couple of guys there, that would stop by to check on him. The police dude did, so he was in and outside the club making sure everything cool, because Breeze got accused of being, a hostile location where these youngins was having shootouts, laying each other down all around his club. But he like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with what's happening outside my club. But inside, I keep the order. But in DC, all the neighborhoods come to these spots, and somebody want to change it up and come cross town, and now they looking at each other like, what you doing here? This my spot. And so a lot of beef broke out like that. So it was like wherever side of town you belong to, it was taboo to go outside your neighborhood and go party somewhere else. Especially if you was representing, you and your mob, your guys, you moving, thick and strong, and then another crew from that neighborhood see you and know you ain't from over here, they gonna step to you. So only way it wouldn't be nothing going down and if you were invited because somebody had love for you, you know what I'm saying? Or vouch for you on your crew being here. So the street politics is not new. The players change, but the game remain the same. Same rules of engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, I had people laughing when I say, back in the day when you met a young lady and she lived in one of the hood spots, you just didn't go over there to see her. You had to call somebody you knew in that neighborhood and find out who she's affiliated with because it never fails. All the honeys in the neighborhood to mess with a guy or two. And even if they're not together, that dude claiming that young lady. So when the outside dude come through, he take it personally, like what that joker doing over here. So it's like automatic beef. Even because that, 9 times out of 10, you know, the dude was simple, and that's probably one of the reasons why she left him and left him alone, cause he a fool. So yeah, that was the politics, man. You had to call and, hey man, she cool, or if she got a boyfriend, is she linked to somebody? Cause and another thing that's old school, ain't nothing new about it. Fellas, you need to be careful about the women you go home with, cause the gangsters use the women to lure you, to rob you, and set you up, to kill you and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Hold you for ransom. So you gotta be careful about when you out here in the streets and you meeting women, you know what I'm saying? And look, I gotta get this game out. It's only right, it's only fair. Beware of women being aggressive, stepping to you. The men always supposed to be the aggressors. You step to the women. That's how that supposed to go. Beware of when a woman step to you and being aggressive and being persistent about you getting to know her. Because 9 times out of 10, that's a shady situation. Either she on that time, on a Cardi B robbing tip, drugging you tip, you know what I'm saying? Or some gangsters sent her to you to lure you somewhere. So you gotta be on your game at all times when you out here, period. So I just gave you a little taste of how that went back in the day, and it's relevant now. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but back to Breeze, we you know, our money that we rent from his spot got us a DJ, security. He laid out a buffet for us, and that whole year we dealt business with him. It was gravy, and so we can really wear that hat to say we were cabaret promoters. You know what I'm saying? And it was official. And we rented out a bona fide club, because I used to go to a spot called St. Luke's for the notorious cabarets, a street DJ named DC Fats. was the number one DJ in the streets back in the day. Then Capricorn D, Graham Cracker, Easy E. Then you had DJ Rico was out there, but I ain't really follow him. I don't even think I went to no party with him, but somehow he was around the right people and met Donnie Simpson, and he's on the radio DJing now. So he doing this thing from then to now. Then you had DJ Flex, my boy Gary Nugent used to be his crate man, the setup man, the dude that carried his crates to all his gigs and set up his records for him to DJ. And so yeah, so I've been part of that party lifestyle, and now I still laugh at the party lifestyle is given a name, and it always had a name from way back. It's called being a socialite. If you're in France, they pronounce it socialite. You know, socialite, socialite. You know, and that's you know someone active in giving events, and entertaining dinner and evening events. And like how rich people throw balls and gatherings and um uh you know fundraisers, and you know so because you rich, you really ain't gotta work. So if you wasn't running a nonprofit, that's usually the name that they gave people. You was a socialite, one that was known for your dinner parties and your events in general. So yeah, so I fall under that umbrella of the nightlife. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So that's where my claim to fame come from. And so yeah, man. You know, I kind of segued off the subject. I don't even know where I left the main core of the subject. But anyway, uh, I know I was talking about Coolio. It's all good. But we at 53 minutes. We get ready to close it out an hour. And I just love talking and reminiscing, because I don't know about you, but I had a great, youth coming up, being a young adult. I had great friends around me. I encountered new great friends, and we was looking for the party. We wasn't never looking for trouble. We were looking for the party. Wherever the party was at, that's where we was trying to be. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to be around the beautiful women and enjoy their company and everything that went with that. Their loving, their cooking, traveling with them, and then going to events with them. Man, it was all love, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? But I get it when the older, the elders tell the young bucks, hey, don't lock yourself down early, because you know it's a whole world out here for you to explore, and you need to enjoy the world, meaning encounter the different individuals that you're going to fall in love with, have relations with, and and then when you ready to settle down, you reflect that who you see yourself having a family with or even marrying. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you fortunate to find love early on, go for it. But commit yourself to that relationship. That's what I tell the youngins. If you're going to be in a relationship, be in that relationship. That means you're not playing around and, you know, unless you're one of them individuals that discover the swinger lifestyle and you both doing y'all thing and you cool with your partner hooking up with other folks. That's an understanding that you both got to agree on. But other than that, you need to be, committed. And if you got to run around, sneaking around for whatever reason, like a brother expressed to me that last weekend was his anniversary and they didn't do nothing for him and his wife. They've been married 27 years, and he said, man, after 16 years, man, the relationship went cold. We both retired, and I still work to get out the house and still get money, and not waiting on the mailman every month. He said, I gotta get out the house. I'm used to getting up, being somewhere. That's what makes a man feel like a man. When he got to get up and be somewhere and go make some money. You feel me? He said his wife watched the housewives all day. You know what I'm saying? And that's her lifestyle. TV and the housewives. And, I don't know if she go out with her girlfriends. I ain't get that deep with him, but my man was upset. Then he said, man, on the low, real talk, I done had 3 affairs, but I'm not leaving my wife because everything else we good. It's just she's not active and don't want to do nothing, you know. And she knew about the relationships. I ain't, I don't know if he said he told her or she just knew because you coming in late, you gone for a couple of days. Women ain't stupid, men ain't stupid. So, but it's a level of complacency. Like I ain't going nowhere and you ain't going nowhere. So do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So in situations like that, I just tell, even especially when I tell women, when you able to run around and cheat and your man not up on it, he not noticing, that's because he's cheating too. So I ain't want to say this to my man, you know, cause he like, yeah, she don't want to do nothing, she don't want to go nowhere, this and that. So I'm gonna do me, but I ain't going nowhere, right? And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, little do you know, she probably got somebody. You know what I'm saying? And when you dipping, she dipping too. So don't never put nothing past nobody or what they won't do or not capable of doing. I don't care how trusting you think they are. You feel me? So somebody not caring about your whereabouts and what you doing from your day to day, if they really not caring, that means they got somebody else. I really believe that in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe if I gotta rank it at percentage wise, I think I'm right at 85%. Maybe it is 15% that a man or a woman that's not recognizing that their partner is in another relationship. Maybe they just that naive. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say 90%. They cheating as well, and maybe 10% just ain't noticing because they may be green, they may be naive, or they just don't care. You know what I'm saying? they content. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my homeboys told me about his daughter and his son-in-law. The son-in-law, I don't know what it was, but the dude might have been a big dude out the gate. But when his daughter and dude got married, you know, she cooking all the good meals. He go to work and come home. He ain't hitting the gym. He ain't out there playing no ball. He ain't running, you know, and he done swelled up like a balloon. And old girl, his daughter, my man daughter, you know, she fit, she sexy. You know, the guys at work trying to get at her, and she trying to be faithful, like, you know, I'm married, and you know, and you know, so when the dudes that's trying to pursue her, like, I know he ain't putting it down because he can't find his shit. The nigga's stomach, you know, he look like he pregnant with four sets of triplets, you know. And, you know, I mean, you know, he ain't rich. So what's keeping her attention? So anyway, my man was like, look, his daughter running around because she's not happy. You know, she got to sleep by this dude every night, and he obese and not taking care of his body when she regularly go to the gym and keeping up herself and looking nice, you know, and then, you know, this dude carrying it like somebody that's just complacent, you know, all he worry about is food. And long as his wife cook, she do what she want because he content. So that's what they mean by don't let the fire run out in your relationship. Don't get complacent, man or woman. You know, stay active, stay vibrant, stay loving on each other. Because, you know, if you're not doing these little things, tell your people that, you know, you love them, you know, on the often. You know, kiss them and hug them and hold their hand, put your arm around them. I don't care how long you've been in a relationship with them. It could be 30 years, 50 years. Stay affectionate. Keep the light burning. Because believe it or not, that love is keeping your partners alive. You know, we need that affection. If we're there for each other like that, if you my spouse, I'm your husband, you my wife, that's what needs to happen on a daily. And if it's not, you in trouble. And the worst thing that could happen is if your spouse die and you got all this love and admiration and affection and you wasn't showing it. So your people died and didn't really know how you felt because you wasn't expressing it. Oh, she knew, or he knew I loved him. Nah, nah, nah. Don't just say it, do it. Don't just do it, say it. It's just what it is. You know, don't take your people for granted. So if you're gonna be in a relationship, be in a relationship. If you want to be a player out here, be a player. Because there's people that want to live that lifestyle and don't mind rolling with you like that on that tip. So the games and the shenanigans don't have to be because people get hurt like that because you're playing with people's feelings. And for some people, you know, they like the cat and mouse thing, you know, but that's gonna get you hurt. All I'm gonna say, Al Green and the Grits. Look up Al Green and the Grits. What happened to him for playing with a woman's feelings? That's for y'all young bucks that don't know nothing. Look up Al Green and Grits. with grits associate with Al Green. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I ain't even gonna give you the story. You go do your research. That's what a young lady used to tell me all the time. Go do your research. You know, here's your university nowadays. There's no reason why you to be dumb and uninformed because you got your computer that you carry around with you every day. You got Google, YouTube, you feel me, the internet. All your information is right here. Anything you need to know. You know what I'm saying? So um I call it Google University. You know what I'm saying? This is like a time machine. You can travel back in time and information you can explore. I love it. So kudos to the creators of the internet, you know, who that Steve Jobs and then the social media guru, uh, you know, uh, Facebook dude, Mark Zuckerberg. You know what I'm saying? So genius. Even though he wasn't the creator by himself, he had partners, but he was strategic enough to take control of it. And the rest is history. Then the podcast is born for those like me that like running their mouth. You know, I can hold conversations for weeks and days versus coming on here rapping or reciting poetry or singing. Cause I don't do all that. I mean, I can. Don't get me wrong, but that's not comfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your artistry is, it's supposed to be comfortable for you. And if you're comfortable, then you're confident. You feel me? So boom, you know what I'm saying? So to dialogue, I just saw Kevin Hart on the Drink Champs, and that's a big dude in the comedy world. That's like having Eddie Murphy on your podcast. You know, podcasting, internet podcasting is still in its infancy. It's really not looked at to be on the tiers of TV and radio, but it's coming. Podcasting is getting bigger than TV and radio. It won't replace it though, but it's a new entity. It's grooming and creating new stars. Like I keep telling everybody, the streaming platforms done changed the game because now all these streaming cable channels are making their own studios. I mean, when you think of it, they always had their own studios, but it's on steroids now because they making not just shows but movies that they streaming on their channel. You're not making scripts to send it to Hollywood no more. TV was TV. Things were made for TV. Now you got the TV, cable TVs, and now streaming services making movies. So you ain't gotta wait for Hollywood to release movies to go to the movies. The whole time of the pandemic, the streaming studios was making their own movies and knocking it out like Netflix. Netflix went hard and they had like making a movie every day for the month of the spring, I think. So that was spring, 3 months before summer. They had a new movie like every week. I think every week for 3 months, a new movie. So what I'm saying is all the actors and actresses is getting shine now because you ain't gotta wait on Hollywood to call you. Now you could create your own content and pitch it to the studio or the streaming services. And if they like it, they're gonna use it and then you in the movie. So all the up and coming is getting shine from all these streaming services studios because all these studios are making movie content. So the new faces that you see and they get ready to blow up. And they don't have to make Hollywood movies, but Hollywood is going to pay attention. When you see different faces on different shows, the same faces, like, oh wow, this person on here, they on there. So yeah. And if you was already out there doing your thing, okay, you like, you royalty, to the streamers, to the streaming studios. Prime is on, what is it? Amazon Prime Studios, Hulu, Netflix, and so forth. BET Plus, all these streaming studios, you know what I'm saying, that's making their own content movies, not just TV shows. So all the up and coming actors are getting visible and getting work. I love it. I love it. So even though I love going to the movies, seeing stuff on the big screen, but the new wave is here and it ain't going nowhere. It just going to elevate. I don't know what's next. Think about it. We had, before TV was the radio, right? That was a big deal. Before the radio, it wasn't nothing. Then the TV came, black and white TV. Then color TV came. Then 2000 comes the internet. You know, we start playing with computers around 1980 something. You know, start learning how to use computers in the 80s. I was on, I was in middle school when we start learning computer literacy. You know, literally 84, 85 on up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was around for the beginning of that. And then come, the internet, you know, and here we are, you know. Technology innovation is beautiful, you know. So God bless to all the great minds that's making things accessible, making it accessible for somebody like me to be in front of you talking, giving you my game, my point of view. You know what I'm saying? And so I let me leave y'all with this because it's funny. I remember seeing something. The dude or somebody said, "You're not a star because you on social media." Guess what? Social media is creating stars, celebrities. Yeah, you know. So let's get that straight, you know. And I ain't talking about myself. The stars are coming to social media, especially when the pandemic hit, because it was money over here. Then when you got a name, you really stepping on the little people who are the regular people like myself. Cause if you just sold millions of records and you've been in movies and now you got star power. So everybody linking in, But if you a regular Joe doing your thing and you out that stratosphere like Hassan Campbell, Gully, and so on, you know, kudos. Tasha K, Storm, you know, my man Choke, you know, folks that, didn't really have no star power. Well, Choke been around the stars, but he wasn't no star himself. But he is now, because of who he's been around in his career. So with that being said, and then I just seen something that people just make me laugh. Okay. Somebody said that you're not a philosopher because you got a podcast. Okay. You know what I say to that, right? Okay, well, what is a philosopher? What do it actually means to be a philosopher? Okay, a philosopher is a person who practices or investigates philosophy. The term philosopher comes from the ancient Greek. I can't even pronounce that word. It's in like some kind of language. Greek Romanized. It comes from the ancient Greek Romanized philosophos, meaning lover of wisdom. So that's what a philosopher means, right? A person who practices or investigates philosophy. The term philosopher comes from the ancient Greek Romanized philosophos, meaning lover of wisdom. So if you are a lover of wisdom and you investigate and one who practices philosophy, that's what makes you a philosopher, no matter what level you on, whether you're recognized or you just do it because you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody got to co-sign you to be in the space or live in the space. So what is philosophy? Okay. Systemized study of fundamental questions such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind, and language. Okay? Philosophy is the systemized study of general and fundamental questions such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind, and language. Okay, so what is a philosopher? Someone that studies philosophy. Okay, somebody that investigates wisdom, right? Philosophy. So what makes me a philosopher in my own right? What did it just say? One who investigate wisdom and study wisdom. Okay, that's a philosopher. And a philosopher studies philosophy, right? What is philosophy? Systemized study of fundamental questions such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind, and language. I'm going to say it again. A philosopher is one who studies philosophy. What is a philosopher? Someone that investigates wisdom. Philosophy is systemized study of fundamental questions such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, and mind and language. Okay. That's what philosophy is. The study of systemized studying of general fundamental questions. That's what philosophy is. That consists of knowledge, values, and language and existent reasons. So, you know, so I hope I broke it down to you. So, technically, if you have a podcast and if you're talking about something that teaches and explores knowledge, you actually is a philosopher. So you got to understand the term and what you're saying. To call somebody or say you're not that, you got to know what it technically means. Philosopher, to investigate wisdom. A philosopher study philosophy, fundamentals, systemized study of knowledge and language and existence. What else? I missed something. Values, reasons in mind. Okay, that's what Webster said. All right, so I hope I cleared that up. Oh, I got another affirmation I heard somebody say that I've been meaning to say to y'all. A smart person learns from their mistakes, but a wise person learns from others' mistakes. Did you get that? Which one are you? You smart or you wise? I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Streets Finest, Big Dave. I'm out. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. Part 30. See y'all next week. Peace.